Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming for training session this afternoon. Right, this afternoon's topic will be called the 8 basic building blocks of our business. Now, as you already know, most of you have attended all sorts of trainings by some of our masters, our founding directors, Vijay, Kurt, Japa, and Joe. Right now, most of the trainings they have takes you a longer time to master in order to duplicate within your group. So today's training is called the 8 basic building blocks due to the fact that this training is meant for you to master it today and go out and duplicate it tomorrow within your organization. Very basic, very simple, but yet very powerful. Now the biggest challenge networkers face is most of them can present effectively, but most of them are very apprehensive about training. You know, Pathman, I don't know how to train. I'm not a trainer. But the 8 basic building blocks is meant for anyone to use. Whether you're 1 week old in the business, whether you're 6 months old in the business, it is still effective. Right? And I'm sure you're going to be comfortable with this training module to be duplicated within your organization. So are we ready to go? All right. Now, the first basic building block. Right? So I'll go by every basic building block. I'll call it the first block or the first building block. Is that okay with you guys? All right. Now, the first building block is sometimes overused in our industry. And a lot of people may be uncomfortable with it. But let me be honest with you. Without this basic building block, nothing else happens. This is your starting point. If you cannot accept, learn, and identify with this building block, you cannot go on to the next 7 building blocks. Right? You can't even start networking per se. Now, the first building block is your dream, your vision, your goals, or what I prefer, your reasons for actually coming into this business and doing it. A lot of people jump into this business without knowing why. Right? They know everything about how. They read all the books, they master every method there is, but they fail to understand that the first thing you need to know about this business is why are you doing it? You need to identify with your why. Right? So the first basic building block is where you identify with your dream, your goal, your vision for yourself. Right? And a word which I'm comfortable using is your reason for getting into this business in the first place. Now remember, you're sitting down and doing this with your people, your organization. All right? And this is the first hurdle you must cross to get them to open up enough and share with you their dream, their vision, their goals for this business, their goals for themselves in their lives, their reasons for going out there and doing what they're supposed to do for this business. All right? I will divide this building block into 2. Firstly is your short-term goals, vision, and dreams. Secondly is your long-term goals, vision, dreams, and reasons. Okay? Now, most people are very uncomfortable talking about this. But once you get them to open up, you hear some amazing things. So sit down with your leader, your organization, and ask them this question. So what are your dreams for this business? What are the reasons for you coming into the business? Most of them will give you an answer which I would believe is pre-set or preconceived answer by society. I want a big house, I want a lot of money, I want a good life. All right? So when you talk about these dreams, vision, and goals, it has to be a bit more specific. To be honest, some people out there want to provide a better education for their kids. Some people out there want to provide a better future for their kids. Some people just want to have a better life. Okay? And then when you go into your long-term dreams and vision, then you hear the massive, dreams of people. They want the Lexus LS400, diamond black, cream leather seats, 5-spoke sport rims. Right? They want to fly around the world for holidays. They want holiday homes all around the world. All right? They want Rolexes. They want all of the things they've been dreaming of as children. Now, if you sit down and speak to even your friend tomorrow, or even a brother or sister, majority of people have forgotten their dreams. We go through a stage in life when we start working, we fall into this stage called reality. When you no longer think it's possible. But when we were small, what was running through your mind? When you were kids, everything was possible, correct? All right, I remember I used to watch this movie called, this series called The Lifestyles and the Rich or Famous. Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. Remember that? Robin Leach. With that British accent, he'll be sharing. And I used to see these big houses, the Ferrari Testarossas, the F355s, the Rolls Royce, the Bentleys. And I used to tell my mom, Mom, one day I will own one of these. What the mom used to say? Knock you on the head and say, study first. All right, then what happens is when you go through age, you come into reality. What is reality? When you realize your salary comes in this month and it goes out the first 5 days of the month, and you're left with a balance of 100 ringgit or $100 in your bank account, and you got 25 days to go. And then suddenly you realize, man, why am I even dreaming about the Ferrari? Why am I dreaming about flying around the world where I can barely afford to buy myself a new pair of shoes this month? I got to think twice before I take my wife out for a movie. Right? But don't think that way. Your dreams, the dreams you had, the visions you had for yourself as a child can and will become a reality if you stick on to them. Don't let go. So when I sit down and talk to you about the first building block, I want you to bring out again your dreams, your vision, your goals for yourself. Now when we talk about the short-term goals for this business, it could be simple things. Like, when do you want to qualify for your first step with Gold Quest International? When do you want to qualify for your second step of Gold Quest International? When do you want to start hitting an average of 2 checks a month from Gold Quest International? All right? Even retirement from your job can be a short-term goal, because a lot of people have retired after 6 months of doing this business, after 1 year of doing this business. So the first basic building block is realize your reasons. Realize, identify with your dreams, your visions for coming into this business. All right? And if you tell me, Pathman, honestly, I do not want a Ferrari, doesn't matter. But don't you want your kids to have a brighter future? I want my kids to have the best future ever. Maybe the future I didn't have, because I grew up the hard way, most of us did. But do you want the same hardship for your children? Or you want them to have a better life? So your dream can be as simple as being able to provide the best education for your children. All right? Now, I spoke to a man once, and you wouldn't believe what his vision and dream was. And I had a hard time believing. We sat down, we spoke. He was a man with 2 kids. And he shared with me over a cup of coffee. Right? And he told me, you know what, Pathman? I just want to go out one day and take my family out for dinner without worrying about the bill. Now, to you and me, what is he talking about? When do we worry about the bill? But ask yourself this question: have you gone out for dinner and worry about the bill? Yes. You stop your wife from ordering lobster. Your kids want this, you say, no, it's not good for health, eat the cheaper thing. All right? So this man's dream or his goal for that short term was to be able to reach a financial standing in his life where he can take his family out for dinner without worrying about the bill. Things we take for granted, maybe because we're better off than them. But when I sit down with my leader or my partner in this business, I want to know his dream. I want to know his vision. I want to know his short-term goals. I want to know his long-term, unbelievable, amazing dreams, which we sometimes forget because we fall into this reality trap. Now, the reason why this building block is so crucial is because once you identify with their dream, their vision, their goals, you know which buttons to push. If he goes out and he starts getting demotivated, he goes out and he says, Pathman, this business is too difficult, what do I do? I say, Anand, have you forgotten? We spoke about it. Your dream, remember? Your kids, remember? You wanted to take a family holiday together, which you haven't taken for the past 5 years. Remember you telling me for once you want your wife to be chauffeur driven instead of her driving around and suffering the traffic jams? Have you forgotten that? Once you start reminding them about their dreams, their vision, their reasons, as simple as going out for dinner, not worrying about the bill, you bring out their strength. They're no longer affected by the negative elements outside. What kept me going? What kept most of you going from the early days of Gold Quest? What was it? Your own dreams. You were not willing to give up on your dreams. You were a fighter. So you need to identify, you need to bring that out of the person you're talking to. So the first building block, and I honestly feel, and I'm stressing this over and over again, is the most important building block of the 8 basic building blocks of this business. Why? Because without that, a man has no direction. Without a dream, you are basically walking around like a zombie. Without a dream, you have no purpose. Without a vision, you have no direction. So let me ask you a question. You want to go from point A to point B, correct? All right? Town A to town B. I'm going to give you the shortcut. Would you want to listen? Yes, because you want to go to town B. Now suddenly you don't feel like going to town B. You don't want to go to town B. You want to stay in town A. And I show you the shortcut to town B. Will you listen? No, because you have no direction. You have no destination. So every shortcut or every training module we give you, every method, how to answer questions, how to do this, will not be useful to you unless you know where you want to go with this. So a lot of people come into Gold Quest International without direction, with no dreams, visions, goals, and reasons to fulfill, so he becomes stagnant. So the first building block is where you sit down with the person, whether in a one-on-one or even in a group, your core group of people, and you get the person to share his dream and his vision with you, and you relate to it, and you remember it. Never forget a man's dream, because that is his driving force. That is his fuel to keep going in this business. All right? A lot of people tell you, yeah, Pathman, we heard this so many times. This dream, this dream, this dream, this dream. But stop and think. You are where you are today in life. And it all started with a dream. Someone once told me, I read in a book, that everything you touch today around you is a dream come true. Do you agree with me on this one? Everything you touch, from your mobile phone to the light switch to the car you drive, was a man's dream, man being gender neutral, a man's dream which came true. So in this business, do not feel embarrassed to stand up here and tell people your dream. Right? My dream was to make sure my kids don't go through the hard life I went through. I want to provide them the best life. I want my wife to have the best life. You understand? I want my mom to have a fantastic retirement. I want my friends and family, all right, to be able to share in my wealth and to build a team and organization. So the first basic building block is where you identify with the person's dream, vision, his goals, his reasons. There are ladies who will just tell you, Pathman, forget about all this materialistic stuff. I just want enough money in the bank account so I can sleep peacefully knowing my kids have a secured future. A man once told me, the day his child was born was his happiest moment in his life. Agreed? Fathers in the room? But also he never had a peaceful sleep after the child was born. Because every moment was, how do I pay for college? All right? Their clothes today, children's clothes, are 10 times more expensive than ours, trust me. I bought stuff for my nieces and nephews. You understand? Right? So to that lady who spoke to me, her dream was to secure the future of her kids. Right? Then you got some people who stand up and say, I want the Lexus LS400 diamond black cream leather seats, 5-spoke sport rims. You understand? Then there's a man who says, I want the holiday villa by the Phuket beach. All right? I want a Spanish villa in Spain. Everyone has very different reasons, dreams, visions for this business. But you have to bring it out of them. Remember it. That's their button. That's the button you keep pressing to keep them going. Whenever they feel down, remember your dream, Leslie? Remember you wanted to own your own empire one day? All right? Remember your dream, Uma? You wanted to provide more for underprivileged kids? Have you forgotten that? You're going to allow 3 rejections to change your vision, your dream? Muniz, you wanted to come back on top? Think about it. All of us, any man who denies he has a dream and vision is a liar. He may be too egoistic to admit he has a dream and vision. Oh no, I don't have such things. I'm just doing my daily routine. No. You need this. And the first basic building block is where you sit down and you identify with that person his dreams, visions, goals, and reasons. And how you help him to bring it out is how? By you sharing yours. When you start sharing yours, he gets comfortable with you and he starts opening up. You understand? All right? So the first basic building block, which I stress again, which is the most important part of this training module, which you need to go through with your people, is identify with their dream, their vision, their goals, their reasons for doing this business, and divide it to short term and long term. Okay? You understand? Very important. Put 5 stars next to this one. This is the crucial one, your starting point of the 8 building blocks. Okay? Now, the second building block, or the second basic building block, is very crucial also. It is called commitment, which majority of people lack when they come into the business. Why? Because maybe somebody showed them a different picture of the business. Right? The mistake we make it seem too easy. Come in, don't do anything. There's no commitment required on your part. You just come in and sit down and you make $1 million. How many of you say that? Some people do. Huh? All right? There is commitment required in this business. That's the truth. Now, commitment, I would divide to 2 areas. Number 1, your commitment towards your dreams. Back to the first building block. You understand? So a lot of people will say, I want this, I want that, I want this, just because you are forcing them. But I want to know how committed are you to the future of your children? And I will ask you, listen here, Auntie Kelwan, fantastic, you told me that the security for your kids are the most important thing to you. Now, how committed are you to this? Are you really serious about it? Are you willing to do anything to achieve that dream of yours? I need to know your commitment. So you ask them their commitment. All right? Be quite direct with this. First, you ask them their commitment to what they told you earlier, which is their dream, their vision, their goals in this business. All right? Now, the second part of the commitment building block is the commitment to this business. That is what majority of people fail to ask. When you don't ask them what the commitment is, and then further down the road, you get frustrated when they're not committing, right? And then you start hitting them. Why are you not doing this? Why are you not doing that? You know, you haven't showed a plan the whole week. You understand? But the mistake you make, you start hitting them or you start badgering them without even knowing what their commitment was. So let me ask you a question. If you show 10 plans this week, is it good or bad? Good or bad? Good, according to you. All right, now let's change the scenario. If the man made a commitment to show 30 plans this week and he only showed 10, is that good or bad? Bad. But if the man committed to show 5 and he showed 10, that's very good. Right? But how would you know whether the person is doing good or bad until you know his commitment? All right? Another reason why you need to know the person's commitment to the business is how much are you going to push if you don't know his commitment. So be very honest with the person sitting down across of you. Listen, Satya, I need to know your commitment in this business. Why? Because I need to know how much time am I going to commit to you, depending on how much time you are committing to this business. So Satya says, well, Pathman, I'm working full-time, 9 to 5, I've got kids, I've got family, I can give you 1 day a week. Okay, now the rule when you get commitment from your leaders or your partners in this business is always be realistic, but never be conservative. Always be realistic, never be conservative. So somebody jumps in front of you and says, I want to commit 7 days a week, 24 hours a day to this business. What do you say? Yes. No, he's going to burn out and he can't keep up to it. So you say, relax. I'm a leader, right? I commit. Let's do 5 days a week. You need 1 day for R&R with your family, all right? You need to spend some time with your family. You need to recharge your batteries, okay? Let's do 5 days a week. Is that fair enough to you? Oh, yeah. So be realistic. Now, a guy comes and tells you, I can give you 1 day a month. That's too conservative. So you stop and you check. And you say, I'm sorry, Satya. Can I be honest with you, my friend? Yeah, please tell me. I don't think you'll make it very big in this business if you're only willing to commit 1 day a month. All right? Yes, do it part-time, but do it full-heartedly. All right? So now, for the average person coming into the business, all right, you can get commitment in 2 ways. One is time commitment. You give me 3 days a week. All right? We spend 3 days together building this business. Number 2 is the number of appointments, up to your flexibility. All right? So sometimes we sit down with our leaders and we say, Muniz, how many appointments can you do in a week? How many people can you meet? Well, Pathman, I can meet 5 people. Fantastic. So he's got a commitment of 5 people to meet in a week. Timing is up to him, flexible, correct? Then you got people who tell you, I'm only free on Mondays and Thursdays. Fantastic. We work on those 2 days. Once you get the commitment out of them, you will know how much to push. So Muniz says, 5 people this week. 5 days has passed in the week. He's only met 1 person. Do I have the permission to push him? Has he given me permission? Yes. He has announced his commitment. 2 more days left. He only met 1 person. He needs to meet 4 more. So I can push him. And he will accept my pushing. Why? Because he's already made the commitment. But you can't just hit on people for no reason. Why you're so lazy? Why you haven't showed a plan? Wake up, blah, blah, blah. You know, you can't do that. Because the person haven't even committed to you. All right? So the second basic building block is where you get the commitment from that person. Face to face. Number 1. All right? My friend, Mohan, are you really committed to your dreams? I need to know your commitment. Yes, I am. He needs to reaffirm with his voice. You need to hear that from him. And then you move on to the second level of commitment, where you ask them their commitment in this business. Now, they also have to be committed to the business presentations in the office. They also have to be committed to attend every training. Training is the key. All right? So think about this. How many of you have actually asked your people for their commitment? How many of you are pushing without even knowing their commitment? And you are wondering why they are moving away? They're moving away because they're uncomfortable with you pushing until you have decided and agreed on the commitment. Too low, you push it up. If they're fanatically high, bring it down. Because I'm telling you, I don't do this business 7 days a week, 24 hours. I think about the business 7 days, 24 hours a day. Because this is our dream, our future. But I want to spend time with my mom. I want to spend time in the future with my beautiful wife and my kids. You understand? That's how you recharge your batteries. Right? Or not soon, after 10 days of 100% fanatic, you become no longer effective. You become irritated. You understand? Hey, you haven't met your wife. Oh, Leslie, would you agree? She recharges your batteries. I mean, in a good way. All right? Yes. It's all edited anyway. You understand? So that's the second basic building block. All right? Commitment. Get it out of them. Now, how do you get it out of them? Make them feel comfortable. All right? Don't push. What do you mean only 1 day a month? Fantastic. I know your position, Satya. All right? I know how busy you are. All right? But I'm honest with you, you have to push up your commitment a bit more if you want to see some results in this business. 1 day a month won't help. All right? You understand? All right? So second basic building block, commitment, commitment, commitment. From day 1, find out your commitment. Now, will this commitment remain the same? No. The commitment gradually increases. Why? They commit 2 days a week, they start seeing amazing results. All right? And automatically, without you asking, they will start committing 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, and eventually they become like us. Very serious about the business. Right? But you can't take them and just throw them into the pool. You got to teach them the baby steps. And then they will take giant leaps. And trust me, all right, if you can identify with their commitment, you have a very effective way of communicating with them and pushing them gradually. All right? So second basic building block, commitment. Now, we move on to our third basic building block for this module. All right? Now, the third basic building block is broken down to basically, it's called the list. L-I-S-T. Okay? All right? L-I-S-T, the list. Now, the list is broken up to two. Number one is the list of your goals, your dreams, your visions. Has to be written down. So, if your goal to hit your first step in 3 weeks, write it down physically on a piece of paper. Don't say, thank you very much, I have memorized it. Doesn't work that way. You have to write it down on a piece of paper. All right, that piece of paper is in your wallet, in your diary. All right, do not paste it on your windscreen of your car. It may lead to some serious accidents. All right, just keep it where you can be reminded of your goals, dreams, and visions continuously. That's your first list. All right, now if you are a couple, sit down with your wife and write that list down. All right, it's very powerful to share your dreams, your visions with your spouse. And she will have some amazing inputs, or he may have some amazing inputs, and you put it down together. Because you work as a team, all right, you become a very powerful networker. Okay, now the second list. Now what is your main capital in this business besides time? What do you need in this business? Contacts, people. Sad to say, the Gold Coast policy does not allow us yet to deal with animals. All right, we'll be very powerful. I know my 3 dogs will sign up immediately. Okay, so right now the policy is you only deal with people. So your asset or your capital in this business, number one is your time, which is covered by commitment. Number 2 is people, your contacts. All right, now here's a question I want to ask all of you. If you look at your list of names today, how many names are there on average? 20, you have 50, you have some people who are 100, some people got 5, some people got 8. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that's a serious problem. Unless you've been living under your bed all this time, or never walked out of your house, the average Asian or the average individual should have a circle of influence anywhere between 150 to 200 people in your circle of influence, including your family, your friends, your acquaintances, your working colleagues, nothing less. Look at your family tree. There's already 30, 40 people who you know directly, correct? All right, so your name list shouldn't be 8 people. I'm sorry. Okay, now here's how I would project to you how to increase the number in your name list. Let me give you an example. You take a blank piece of paper right now, put it in front of you and take out a pen. And for the next 2 hours, every name you put on that piece of paper who you know, I will give you $100 for each name. Cash. Now tell me, how many people on your list of names? 500. 1,000 increases. All right? 10,000, Munisa says. You understand? So your name list is short or very little for one reason. Because you prejudge people before you put them on the name list, which you should never, never, never do. All right? Never prejudge people. Oh, he will not be interested. Oh, he's too rich. He's not the type. He's not the networking type. All right? If somebody said that about me, I wouldn't be shown the plan. Half of you in this room may not be the networking type, but you were on somebody's list. You do not have the right, or you should not, prejudge people before putting them on the list. You write down every person you know on your list. You can divide it to family, to friends, all right, to working colleagues, to acquaintances. Whose acquaintances? Your mechanic, your barber. My mechanic is in the business. My barber is in the business. My accountant is in the business. Your postman can be in the business. I'm telling you, you have no idea how badly people out there need this. And I don't think it's fair for us to prejudge and deprive them of an opportunity. Show everyone this plan. Put everyone on the list. All right? Now, question number 2, should your list be stagnant? Your list should keep growing. It must continuously keep growing. How do you make your list grow? Smile. Smile and always exchange name cards. So before this business, you used to go to a party and used to sit down in a corner and just stare at the ceiling. Now what do you do when you go to a party? Walk around, smile, shake hands, hello. What's the first thing? What's your name? First question. Second question is always, what do you do? And then a light lights up, right? Ding, all right, we can talk to this guy. So what do you do? Show the plan at the party? No. All right, you get the name cards, right? We should meet one day for coffee. Now, when you get his name card, that's a new name on the list. All right, so your list should grow on a daily basis. Never become stagnant. I've been doing this business for 3 years. All right, and I came back the other day and I sat down and I wanted to do a list on my own. Right? I thought myself, I've exhausted all my contacts in my locality, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Right? And I could come up with 125 names. My first trip to India, I came up with 450 name cards. My trip to Bali, Indonesia, was 4 days, I came up with about 25 name cards. So once you become a networker, once you become involved in this business, you no longer can be a cocoon or live in your cocoon. You have to come out and start exchanging name cards. Start making friends. I go to the Mercedes showroom to check out my CLK compressor, talk to the salesman, get his name card. I go to a bank and ask, I want to buy a few houses, get the guy's name card. You understand? There are a lot of things you can do to get name cards. All of you all full-timers, morning or nothing to do, call a real estate agent. I want to see some houses. You got a name card. You understand? Uma lately did some work for us and she basically got the name card of the printer who did some printing work and he's coming into the business. So never make your list stop growing. It grows, it grows. And then you got international contacts on your list. Should you immediately contact them? Wait. Wait until you have proven yourself in this market. Wait until you have developed a local market first. Right? If you can't build something in your own backyard, don't expect to go and build it in somebody else's. You understand? Take your time until you are financially in the position and in a leadership position to go and develop a network and commit time in a new market. All right? Unless you already have a very strong existing networker in a country and he wants to get started, fair enough. All right? And organizations like V-Team and your leadership base will support you in the foreign markets. So the list, number one, the third building block. The first list is the list of your dreams, your goals, your visions, which put it where you can see. And that also will change and grow accordingly as you mature in this business. Number two, your list of names. Please don't tell me 8 names. There's a problem. 100 US for each name you put on the list, trust me, you'll come up with 1,000. And that list continues to grow. You go out there and you make friends. You build contacts. You build relationships. All right, so we have done the 3 basic building blocks. All right, let me recap. The first one, your dream, your vision, your reason, your goals in this business. Number 2, your commitment, very crucial. Number 3, the list. Your names, your dreams, your visions, everything on it. And please don't show me your handphone and say this is my list. Don't show me your home diary and say this is your list. It has to be a separate sheet of paper written down, my goal quest list of names. You understand? Don't get away with this handphone list and all that. Okay, now we move on to the 4th basic building block of this module. Okay, now this building block is basically called how to prospect or invite someone. Okay, so let's go back. You have done your dreams, you have got your reasons, you know why you came into this business. Block number 2, you know your commitment to this business. Building block number 3, you already have your list of names. So what's block number 4? You start doing the work. All right? And your first step is to start contacting and inviting. Now, never before has anyone been afraid of the phone until they come to this building block. They stare at the phone and say, oh my God, I got to make a call. All right? And you know, when you call somebody and you get your voicemail, you go like, whew, thank God, I don't have to talk to the guy personally. I leave a message on the voicemail. You're not at home? Thank you very much. Forget about it. You understand? Never have I seen grown adults afraid of the telecommunication device called the phone. All right? Now, here's what you do. There are many ways of you to invite somebody. The first one is a face-to-face. You meet the guy and you say, listen, Can we catch up next week? Okay. Number 2 is you do it over the phone. Majority of people are more comfortable doing it over the phone. Now the key factor in this building block is what do you say to the person when you invite them. Hello, I'm doing Gold Quest, it's very good business, it's selling gold coin 400. Is that how you do the invitation? No. Alright, listen, I've got a thing which can make a lot of money, please come. Alright, you must understand, you are dealing with markets, certain markets around the world, where people have been exposed to this industry for 30 years. They know every form of invitation there is. And they will say what to you? Is it direct selling? Is it multi-level marketing? Is it network marketing? And then you are stuck. So your invitation is very crucial in getting him to come and see the plan, to see the opportunity Gold Quest has to provide. That's your job. And what you say, how you say, your tone is very crucial whether he's going to say yes or no to the invitation. Alright? Now some examples of you saying it is number 1, depends who you're talking to. It's very important, it always depends who you're talking to. Now let's take first example, your best friend, your best buddy, who you meet every day. You grew up with, you ran around, played football, flew kites with, you did everything. This guy is your padre, your best friend. Okay? Now how would you invite this guy? Now some of you may go and say, hello, I have a very good business opportunity, please can I meet you, I just want to share this opportunity with you. Is that the right way you talk to your best friend? No. You cannot talk to your best buddy like he's one of your customers. Right? Give him a bit more due respect. Hey, Munis, today, tea, my place, 5 o'clock, come over. Is that good enough? Yes. You know this guy, you grew up with this guy, he will sit down and listen to you. But don't start giving your pitch on the phone to your best buddy or your brother who lives with you. What I told my brother was, listen, I came across something really big, man. Meet me at the normal shop at 5 o'clock. Showed him the plan. Now, if you invite somebody who is an acquaintance, somebody you don't know that well, okay, somebody you're there with, you know, but you eat with him lunch once in a while in the office, but you don't go to his house, he doesn't come to your house. So there's still a certain gap, right? So to invite this guy, you can use a few techniques. The first one I would recommend is, hello, Muniz, Pathman here. Listen, just a couple of days ago, I came across something really interesting. All right, I'm looking seriously at it. Now listen, I can't promise you anything. All right, but maybe we can sit down, go through this, and if you like what you see, maybe we can work together. All right, what is it? It involves too many visuals, Muniz. I just need 45 minutes of your time. Okay, now the key words there is number 1, I can't promise you anything. Now why do you need to say I can't promise you anything? That establishes what I call posture in your invitation. If you become a desperado, please Muniz, please you have to come. You're the only one I have, please come. He's going to say, no, you're too desperate. Now you can't be arrogant and say, who needs you? If you're not free, buy a kite and fly it. Don't be arrogant, all right? But you say, listen, I can't promise you anything. If you like what I'm going to show you, maybe we can work together, which is the truth, right? Right? I can't promise you anything. If you like what you see, maybe we can work together, all right? What is it? Tell me over the phone. I'm sorry, it involves too many visuals. Okay? Now, second way, you're inviting somebody you respect a lot. A man you would call your teacher, your mentor, maybe an uncle, or even your dad. Okay, you can't use the normal pitch and say, listen, I got a business opportunity, you want to come and see me. You can't use that pitch. What you basically have to use is you basically have to humble yourself and give them the due recognition in your invitation. All right, so Mr. So-and-so, there is such a man, no, Mr. So-and-so. All right, Mr. So-and-so, I came across a very fantastic business opportunity. Now I'm getting into it, but I don't know whether I should. All right, and I respect you a lot, I respect your wisdom. I was wondering whether you could give me some feedback on this. I just need 45 minutes of your time. Okay, now what have you done? You have put the man up on a pedestal. Now, the purpose of an invitation? To get the guy across you to see the plan. Whatever it takes, do it. Now, sometimes you are put in a position where you are forced to say something. Have you been in that position before? No, tell me now. Tell me something. I'm going out of town tomorrow. So what do? Do you tell or don't you tell? Now, if you have no other chance of getting this guy to sit with him, give him a gist of the story over the phone. Not too much. Right? Basically, there's a new concept. Very interesting compensation program dealing with what I call a very prestigious product. Okay? The company is tied up with some very big partners in Germany. Alright? And the company is dealing with some very big organizations around the world. Right? There's a lot of visuals involved. I need to sit down with you. But again, I can't promise you anything. But if you like what you see, we can start working with each other. You understand? Give them a gist. They ask you anymore, I'm sorry, I can't tell you. Because one question will lead to another. And soon he'll ask you the whole plan over the phone. And you'll be going 400 and all that over the phone, which doesn't make sense. You cannot show an effective plan over the phone. Now, I would go to the extent of saying, listen, if you're not free, it's okay. I'll call you back next week. It's your posture. Okay? Now, in that invitation, remember one thing. Who needs who more? He needs you more than you need him. So never fall into this pleading mode. Please, wherever I'll meet you. You want me to fly somewhere? I will fly and meet you. Even though my cost of flight is more than my commission. You understand? Okay? So now when you set an appointment, always use the option appointment setting method. Never say, shall we meet on Friday? What if he says no? Oh, Saturday? No. Sunday? No. Next Monday? No. So what you do is you give him an option. The human mind, when given an option, will have to choose. You understand? So the option I would do, or what we usually do is this. We call the person, fantastic, we'll meet. What day is better for you, Tuesday or Thursday? His mind, he won't say no. He's got to choose a day, a Tuesday. Fantastic. What time is better for you, 6 in the evening or 8 in the evening? 8 o'clock. Fantastic, I'll meet you at your place. You understand? Once you give them an option, they will choose. Another method used, which I learned, was basically where you tell them, next week, what days are you busy? Alright? Anand, next week, what days are you busy, by the way? Oh, I'm busy Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday, yep, 4 days. So what day is he free? Friday. You know that. Fantastic. Friday sounds good to me too. What time is good for you? 4 or 6. You understand? Now, this may not always work, but it usually does. They will choose. They will come and meet you. Alright? Setting the appointment, remember, inviting, contacting. Number 1, maintain your posture. Use words like, I can't promise you anything. But if you like what you see, maybe we can work together. I'm sorry, I cannot share any more information over the phone. It involves too many visuals. We have to meet. Now, what day is good for you? Tuesday or Thursday? What time is better on Thursday? 6 or 8? Set the appointment. It's very straightforward. Okay? Now, face to face, when you meet the person, don't sit down and show him the plan immediately. The mistake people make is I meet Muniz after 3 years in MCOP Mall or in a mall. I say, Muniz, long time no see. Listen, I got a business. Let's sit down. Let me show you the business. No. Do your normal, hello, long time no see, talk. You haven't seen the guy for 3 years. You can't show him the business immediately. And set an appointment for a future date. By the way, Muniz, I got into something really big right now. I may need your help in this area. Maybe we can share some information. I'll meet you. Which is better for you, Monday or Wednesday? Wednesday, fantastic. 6 or 8. 8 o'clock, I'll meet you. You understand? So in your invitation, don't be long-winded. Don't talk so long. Make it short. My brother has this amazing idea. He stands by the doorbell in the house and he makes an invitation. When the guy starts asking too many questions, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. By the way, tell me which is better, Tuesday or Thursday? Thursday, 8 o'clock, fantastic. Ding dong, ding dong, I have to go, there's somebody at the door. And now we got 2 phones, right? Your mobile and your home phone. I get somebody to call your mobile when you're halfway doing an invitation. Do not be afraid. Now, if you're afraid, your initial few invitation and contacts, get your leader to sit with you. He can even make some phone calls for you. He can guide you. He can sit next to you. Now, an effective way of doing invitation is also do it in front of a mirror. Alright? And the most powerful thing to do while you do an invitation is smile. Look in the mirror and smile. A smile cannot be seen, but it can be felt. My first few invitations, I used to hold a glass of water, relax, stand in front of the mirror and just drink. You know, yes. So which day is good for you, Tuesday or Thursday? Both days bad for you? All right, maybe I'll call you back next week, because I'm quite tied up this week also. When you say that, you're setting your posture. You're not a desperate salesman. You're a multi-million-dollar businessman. And sometimes you're not free. You cannot adjust your timing to every whims and fancy of your prospects. You are genuinely busy sometimes. I'm sorry, I'll see you next week. That's your posture. Okay? That's building block number 4, where you basically set your posture while the invitation. It helps you with your presentation. Okay? Now we go into building the basic building block number 5. So the 5th basic building block. Alright? This is where you basically share the opportunity. That means you do the goal quest presentation with the person. Alright? Now there are basically a few methods how you do this. Number 1, which a lot of people consider the most powerful method, is the one-on-one. Very, very powerful. Number 2 is when you do group meetings, most of the time in your home. Number 3 is when you invite the person to a business presentation at the official venue, maybe a hotel or the office in certain countries. Alright, we have official V-Team business presentations, official Gold Quest business presentations. You understand? Alright, so there's 3 ways mainly how to do this business. Now, when you go for a one-on-one business presentation, number 1, where do you show this plan? A disco? The zoo? No, choose a very professional place. Alright, now do not choose a 6-star Italian restaurant where a glass of water is $5. You understand? Choose a reasonable place. Some people like to use McDonald's. Make sure there's no playground. Never do the plan over alcohol. If you get invited somewhere to show a plan and the person offers you a drink, no thank you, I'll have it later. Alright, or no thank you, I do not drink. Because I've shown this business presentation to people who had a couple of swigs of alcohol. They promise you a 7-header on the spot. Tomorrow morning, who are you? When you call them for follow-up, you understand? So never. If that guy is already having a drink, I will not have a drink. I maintain my posture as a businessman. And business is business. Correct? Alright? Now, so never use an entertainment place, a disco, a karaoke, or you know, in Philippines, videoke, they call it. Alright? Don't start singing a song and then showing the plan on the side. You know, it doesn't work that way. Alright? So choose a very professional environment. A nice, simple restaurant. Right? In Malaysia, for example, we have mamak stalls, or stalls by the roadside, which is one of the places we all have. Okay? So choose a suitable environment. Now come dressed up professionally. Now this is one area where there are a lot of mixed training concepts on this area. A lot of people say wear a shirt and tie. Okay? A lot of people say dress professionally. Now on a Sunday morning, you go to somebody's house and you wear a full suit, you freak the person out. You know what he's going to say? I do not want to join if I have to dress up like this on Sunday. So sometimes, you see, use your common sense. You're going for a business meeting. Sometimes I use a long sleeve shirt with a tie. Right? I hate ties, so I started these Nehru or Mandarin collar shirts, which are very easy, you don't have to wear a tie. Number 2, sometimes when I go to somebody's house on a Sunday, I use a decent short sleeve shirt. You know, you have to look professional, decent. You got to be clean shaven. I mean, if you want to keep a beard like mine, it's okay. I know it looks nice, thank you. Alright, you understand? Alright, but if you are the type who doesn't keep a beard, shave. Alright? Dress up professionally, but don't scare the person. 3-piece suit, you know, and you're coming on Sunday afternoon to his house. He's sitting there with his sarong and his t-shirt and his shorts, you know, looking at you. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah. So number 1, choose a proper environment. Dress up professionally using your common sense. Number 3, be prepared. Bring the necessary tools. All right, what are your tools? Some product brochures, if you don't have the product itself. Do you need the product to be successful in this business? No. Until today, I've never used a product when I do a plan. And I've been doing this business for 3 years. I do not carry the product. Why? Because it cannot be duplicated to somebody who hasn't qualified for his coin watch or watch. You understand? So he'll say, Pathman, I can't go out. Why? I don't have a product. Can I borrow yours? And you have already lent yours out. He's stuck. So I never show the product. Is our product easy to explain? Round and goal. You got the brochure. Enough. Get some paper. Get a cheap pen. Why cheap pen? Because I lost a lot of expensive pens doing plans. So your Mont Blanc you keep in your pocket and you take out your, your Pilot and you just write. Okay, some of you are very comfortable with PowerPoint presentations, but be very careful when you use it. When you're going to a province or a small village somewhere where there's a housewife sitting down, I would use 2 pieces of paper and a pen. Why? Because you have to connect with that person. If you start pressing buttons and something flashes on a wall, she freaks out. You know what's the first thing running through her mind? I can't do this. It cannot be duplicated. But if I take 2 pieces of paper and just scribble, flip the brochure, hey, I can do this. So remember, every action you take, you must always think of duplication. Can this be duplicated? Does everyone have a coin to show? Does everyone have a 12,000 laptop to do PowerPoint? Maybe not. Right? So I'm a firm believer of 2 A4 papers and a cheap pen. Effective duplication. But sometimes when you do a professional presentation to a bunch of IT specialists or to a bunch of bank managers, you can resort to your more effective presentation because that's their culture. So you've got to be very sensitive to the prospect, his level of understanding, his level of understanding of this whole concept. Then you go in for your plan. All right? Now, some organizations have got this info packs, all right, which you can leave behind with the prospect. Or you can ask them to revert back to the website. That's a one-on-one. Okay? Now, make your plan short and sweet. I heard people, Pathman, I just finished a plan. I said, really? How long? 6 hours, man. It was one of the toughest plans. Now, you know what message you're sending when you do a plan for 6 hours? You got nothing better to do today than to spend 6 hours with somebody. And the guy, after 40 minutes, is switched off. He's thinking of his cat at home, his wife, someone else. You understand? The attention span of a human being is 20 minutes. And you go 6 hours? You cannot. All right? So keep your plan short and sweet. Now, what I do, and this is a trade secret of a networker, is right after the plan, right, and spend about 15 minutes talking, I said, listen, Mohan, I have to go. I have another appointment right after this. But thanks for your time. Remember, we have a meeting in a couple of days. I'll give you a call to confirm the time. Thanks a lot. Right? This is the info pack. You can read through it or revert back to our website. Then I leave. Do you have an appointment? Maybe not. You go back home and stare at the ceiling. Or go back home and sharpen your skills. Read a book. You understand? You must always be busy. If you speak to my brother Ranjit and myself, whenever you call us, even though at 6 in the morning, we automatically answer the phone like we are wide awake. Yes, Suresh, yeah, what's up? Tell me. Where? Today, 6 o'clock? Done, I'll be there. And then we go back to sleep. See, networkers are always on standby. Posture. These are trade secrets, okay? So don't call me at 6. All right? Now you understand? That's basically how it works on a one-on-one. Okay? Then you got home meetings, which Joe Fabregas has taught me to be one of the most effective concepts. Now, with our founding directors, Japa is the specialist. Even Vijay, super specialist at a one-on-one. Kurt and Joe are more the group meetings. All right? Now, Joe has taught me that home meetings are very powerful. Why? Because when you invite somebody to your home, they are comfortable. All right? They are comfortable coming to your house on a Sunday evening, sitting around and listening to you talk for 40 minutes. All right? They bring their husband and they bring their wife or husband and they come and sit down. You understand? All right? Now, home meetings, there are certain rules. Number 1, don't invite 45 people to your house. All right? Your neighbors will think you're running some kind of, fanatic organization. So what you do is invite maybe 5 to 8 people based on your seating capacity of your hall. Right now, do not cook 25 dishes full-fledged 9-course meal for the people. You know why? Where will their focus be the whole time? Can't wait to have dinner, can I? You understand? So cookies, cake, and tea or cold drinks. Now with cold drinks, this is proven. I experience it. Make sure there are no ice cubes. Why? Because there will be one guy sitting there who loves playing with his ice cubes. So he'll be doing this with his glass, you know. And this grrr, grrr, the sound. And then some people put the ice cube in their mouth and start biting it. And it starts to irritate the guy next to him, you understand? Then the couples do weirder things, you know, you understand? Alright? So ice cubes, no. So make sure there's a strainer just to pour cold drinks, cookies, cake. Now be equipped in your house. Have a whiteboard. You should have a whiteboard if you're a networker. Always in your car with a tripod. That's your investment. Because you never know when there's a need for you to set it up and do a plan on the street or in some fair or something like that. So have a whiteboard and do the plan. Okay? Everyone is comfortable, they're sitting down, make it short and sweet, and after that, have a meeting after the meeting discussion. As simple as that. That's your home meetings. Alright? Now finally, you got meetings where you invite people to an official venue of Gold Quest or V-Team, like the office or hotel. Number one, when you invite them to be there at 6:30, what time should you be there? 6 o'clock. Please don't make your prospects wait downstairs. Who are you waiting for? I'm waiting for Uma. She hasn't come. You understand? You be there early. Now, for that moment, when your prospect comes to the venue, he is king. You are the humble servant. Because as far as he's concerned, hey, 40 minutes of my time is very valuable. The last thing you do is invite your prospects. Hello, you wait here. And then you go outside and chit-chat with your friends. He's waiting there under, not doing anything. You understand? So you make sure you treat him well as a guest. All right? Satya, thank you for coming. All right? Can you have a seat? All right? Can I get you a glass of water? Now, how many of you actually feel like serving a glass of water to somebody? Why not? He came to your place. That means he's your guest. Somebody comes to your house, would you give a glass of water? Serve him a glass of water. Now, always introduce your prospects to your seniors, your leaders, and your leaders will know what to say. Satya, by the way, this is Suresh. By the way, this is Anand. By the way, this is Muniz. Muniz will know what to say, don't worry. You understand? All right? So always introduce them leaders. Now, take them into the room. Make them sit down. Do you sit with them? Yes. If there's space in the room, you sit next to them. And what? SMS your girlfriend? No. Focus on the presentation. Have you heard the presentation before? Yes. 6,000 times. Doesn't matter. Hear it for the 6,001 time. Okay, now when you feel your prospect is being a bit distracted, all right, you bring him back to focus. I see Suresh staring at the ceiling. I said, Suresh, by the way, this is a really important point. Okay, now notes. You take notes. And you offer your prospect a piece of paper and a pen if he doesn't have it. And he will start taking notes. That's crucial. He's going to duplicate what you do. And he's going to say, well, this guy is serious. He's sitting here with me and taking notes. Oh, this is very good. He loses focus, nudge him. This is really interesting. His focus comes back. All right? And after the presentation, what do? Run home. Sit with your prospect for the meeting after the meeting. Handle whatever challenges he has, whatever questions he has. Don't push him aside. Now, if you have invited 5 prospects, you cannot handle all 5. You call for backup. Your leaders will come and support you and look after some of your, all right, like most of our meetings in Malaysia, for example, after the meeting, we walk around and we shake hands. The 2-minute shaking hands and Muni standing there introducing me to this guy helps. Oh, I met this guy, I met that guy, So it reaffirms their belief in the company and the plan. Right? So how many ways of showing the plan? Number 1, one-on-one. Very, very powerful. Number 2, home meetings. Extremely powerful, especially those who have restrictions. Housewives say, I can't come out, Pathman. Never mind, every Saturday evening, run a home meeting in your house. Number 3, official venues. Dress professionally. Official venues, you dress with a shirt and tie. Nothing less. And you also advise your prospect to dress alike. Why? You don't want him to feel out of place. So you call him, come for the meeting, it's in Hilton Hotel, 6 p.m. And you don't tell him the dress code, he may come in shorts. And he walks in the room, everyone is dressed in shirt and ties. He feels awkward. So it's better warn him. By the way, it's a formal function. All right, you should dress up formally. A shirt and tie will be good. Tell him. Now don't force him. Do you have a right to force him? Not the first meeting. But once he becomes part of your team, you can start educating him in the need to dress up professionally, and he will soon start to dress up professionally. That's showing the plan. Now I'm going to run through very fast the content of the plan. What should be in the plan? Alright? Now everyone has a different way of showing the presentation. Doesn't matter. But these parts must not be left out. You must always talk about the company, alright, and the 3 P's. The 3 P's are basically the product, the plan, and positioning or strategy. You understand? So never leave out the company. After the company, you go into the 3 P's. Break it down. Product, plan, positioning, and then you close. Right? Those details you can get from other modules of training where we teach you how to do an effective presentation. Now what block is that? The 5th basic building block. Alright? So you got the dream, you got the commitment, you got the name list, you got how to contact and invite, you got how to present. Alright? What do you do for your presentation, your preparation? Understand? Okay? Now we go into basic building block number 6. Now this one I want you to put 10 stars next to it. Okay? It is called the follow through. This is the most crucial part of your flow. The follow through is extremely crucial. Now how many of you play golf? Okay, I don't. Right? But I'm sure I'll be a pretty good golfer somewhere down the road, you know. Hopefully like Tiger Woods. Right? So a golfer basically hits the ball, right? Okay, so correct me wrong. You put your fingers like that. Okay, and the golfer basically puts the thing like that, stands really awkward looking, all right, and then he swings and he hits the ball. Now imagine if the golfer stops after contact with the ball. What happens? The ball will fall 2 feet or 2 inches from the, what do you call it? The thing they stick in the ground. The tee. You know, you drink tea, that's the tea for the golfers. All right? Now what a golfer needs to do, he needs to strike the ball and then follow through. And the ball can go for 200 yards. You understand? So the same with our industry. When you show the plan, what are you doing? You're striking the ball. And if you stop at that, the ball just falls off the tee. Alright? But a real good networker will strike the ball and follow through. That's when you close the deal. So the follow through is a very, very, very important part of the 8 basic building blocks. Put 6 stars next to this one. Okay? Now let's talk about timing. When should you follow through? After 1 month? No. You must. This is non-negotiable. You must follow through within 24 to 48 hours. You must get in contact with your prospect within 24 to 48 hours. That is a must. Let me tell you why. You must always strike when the iron is hot. If you leave him for a while, he will start to get cold. He will start talking to his neighbors. He will start talking to all types of people who will pump him with negative input, and he will be shut down to the idea. Okay? So after showing the plan, also remember, tell the person not to go and talk to anyone. You must say it. They will still talk to people, trust me. But you must say it. Now to prevent too much damage, you must follow up or follow through within 24 to 48 hours. That is the crucial point where the man is still hot. So they say strike when the iron is hot, remember? Right? You get him that time. Right now, one best way of setting the appointment is set a meeting at the meeting. It means when you're showing him the plan or sharing the opportunity, you already set your follow-up meeting, follow-through meeting. That's crucial. Always set your meeting at the meeting, because you may not get him back. Now some of you leave some material with him. That's a very effective method, because you may want to go back to him to get back the material. That ensures you have a follow-through meeting. Alright, don't give away material, it still costs money. I know people who give away profiles or product brochures. That's a bad idea. It costs money for you to acquire this material. So when you give it during the plan, also go back and get it back at your follow-through. Alright, now at your follow-through, what do? You basically handle his objections and questions, his concerns which he may have. Because trust me, he has gone back and he has thought about it. Alright, he has processed all the information he got during the plan, and now he got tons of questions and concerns, which you are basically going to be handling. Now, if you are basically a new person in the business, do you start showing plans on your own in the beginning? You always get your leader to follow you, minimum the first 5 to 10 plans. Alright, what do you do during the plans? The first few plans you sit down and nod your head. Agree with everything your leader says. Right? The third plan you put some input. The fourth you may mix. He does the first half, you does the second half. The fifth you do the first half, he does the second half. The sixth you do the whole plan, he is there just to provide support. Now when you do the follow through, initially always take your leader with you. Because I don't want you to basically go meet one of these irritating prospects who will have 675 questions to ask you which you may not be able to answer, and you get demotivated. But with your leader backing you up, he'll be able to handle anything. Alright? So the initial first few follow-throughs, you don't go alone. You take your leader, he's your strong man. He'll back you up. Until you are confident enough to handle the objections and, alright, on your own, the questions on your own. Right? Now there's a rule which basically I follow when I handle objections and questions. You must walk a very thin line. But you must cross on either side. You must walk the line. This may sound shocking to you, but bear with me. You must walk the line between confidence on this side and arrogance on this side. Never cross over. You're walking the line. You just have a perfect balance. Well, why is this necessary? A lot of people difficult prospect, and when the person has an objection or a question which is some sort sarcastic, this kind of companies are stupid, it'll never work. Alright? Many people, oh really? Okay, thank you for your input, and they walk away. Never do that. Alright? You got into a business for yourself. You're building a team. You're proud of the company. You've been working very hard. I will not allow anyone to put this company down. Now you should not attack him with arrogance. Oh, who are you? Who are you to say this about the company? Who do you think you are? Arrogance. But if you walk the line, you can handle it very professionally. Well, thank you very much, Muniz, for your input, but I have to correct you on this one. I think you've been misinformed. All right, this business is actually working very well worldwide. Can I share some facts which maybe help you understand? Right? Don't get defensive with emotions. Get defensive professionally. All right? So if you own a restaurant and somebody says your food is lousy, will you keep quiet? No, what do you know? Come and taste again. It's really good food. The same with this business. I'm proud to be part of the Gold Quest family. I'm proud to be a networker. It's a powerful industry, and I will not allow anyone to mock my industry. I will not allow anyone to mock what I'm building for the future of my kids and my family. Correct? Alright? But you can handle it. Now, one thing I train is I always teach people how to slap with a kiss. Alright? Now, never slap and leave him pissed off or angry. Slap with a kiss. Alright? That's a very good point, Muniz. You're saying this business doesn't work. Actually, to be honest, I would actually like to know why you think that. Alright? Maybe I can get a piece of paper and a pen, and maybe you can show me why you think this business doesn't work. Alright? Now, 9 out of 10 people say it without even knowing why. Correct? And when you give them a piece of paper and pen, very few will be able to even come close to explain why this business doesn't work. They listen to their neighbor, their next door veterinary doctor's sister-in-law, and they come up with this opinion. Alright? So always when you handle objections, be proud of what you do. Maintain your posture. Do not allow someone to mock what you do. You can walk away losing that prospect, but hold on to your pride. Because you are not only standing there representing yourself, you're representing everyone else out there doing Gold Quest seriously. Alright? Now when you handle an objection, there's basically 3 words you must remember. The 3 F words. Alright? Is basically feel, felt, found. These 3 words. Feel, felt, found. Alright? Let me show you an example. Now just say Mr. Joe Fabregas, he's my prospect. Difficult prospect. He's sitting there and telling me blah 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 blah. How do I know the coin is real? Now in your mind, it's a stupid objection, right? Well, of course the coin is real, man. But to him, It's a valid concern. All right, so you can say, what a stupid question, sir. Of course the coin is real. You could handle it that manner. What happens? You make him upset, you lose him as a prospect. How I would handle it, or how you should handle it is, well, fantastic, Mr. Fabregas. To be honest, I know how you feel. That was how I felt. But this is what I found out. So always remember, feel, felt, found. Feel, felt, found. All right? This company cannot be trusted. Oh my God, I know exactly how you feel. As a lawyer, that's exactly how I felt at the beginning. But you know what I found out? Then you list down Makitalo, Olympic, Games, coin, all right? FIFA, Sukarno. Now we're going for George Lucas, all right? Miami, 130 years old. You understand? But don't attack him. Embrace him. Make him feel comfortable enough to accept your answer. You understand? So feel, felt, found, and always be proud of what you do. Never at one point show this person that you're ashamed of what you do. Because I have faced objections where people say, Pathman, you're a qualified lawyer and you're doing this. I said, of course I'm doing this. This is the wave of the future. Man, I'm so happy I gave up my legal career. I look at some of my friends today, they're not going anywhere. They're stuck in a rut, but this is what I really want to do. And I share with them the power of networking. All right? Now, if you're dealing with a couple, it's best to have the couple there during the follow-through also. Okay? So there are many objections and excuses. All right? Now, let me tell you the truth about objections and excuses. There is no such thing. 99% of people give you objections and excuses because they don't know how to say no. They're already saying no in their mind, but they're disguising it as some objections. So you answer, the coin is real. Next, he'll come up with, can I trust this company? Next, will this network last? Next, how do I know whether I'll get paid? You understand, it never stops. What is he trying to say? No. All right? So don't sit down there and think, I have to get this guy. I'll answer all his objections and excuses. I must get this guy. I can't lose this guy. No, some people may just say no. Now, the majority of people in this business who say no are not actually saying no to you. They're not saying no to Gold Quest. They're saying no to themselves. And why they say no to themselves is because they have a fear that they will fail. My experience. All right, they're actually saying no to themselves because I'm afraid to do this because I'm afraid of failing. Right? They're afraid of losing. They're afraid of coming out a loser. What will people say if I give it a try and I fail? That's actually what they're saying. We thought about this a long time. And no semi-intelligent person could say no to such a powerful business. They're actually afraid to fail. You understand? So when you handle objections and excuses, number one, handle it being proud of what you stand for as being part of the Gold Quest family. Don't allow anyone to mock you or this business and get away with it. And how do you do it? Slap with a kiss. Leave the man insulted without feeling it. You understand? All right? Very good point. All right? It's a pyramid, yes. Can you tell me why? So every question should be answered with a question. Is it a scam? Very good point. To be honest, can you tell me why you think it's a scam? It's a pyramid. Really, what do you understand about pyramiding? All right? Hey, I don't have money. I know how you feel. That's how I felt. But you know what I found out? Getting $460 is not too difficult if you're serious about your dreams. If you're serious about what you told me earlier before this plan, that you wanted to do this for your kids. I don't think $460 should be something stopping you from creating a better future for you. You understand? So your follow-through is a very crucial building block. Because that's where you get the person to either say yes or no. Very important. Right? So walk the line between confidence and arrogance. Do not let your posture down. I'm a businessman. You need me more than I need you. And I'm giving you a chance to improve the way you live. All right? So tell me your objection again. Fantastic. I know how you feel. This is how I felt. This is what I found out. Stop. All right? This company is a scam. That's a very good point, but can you please share with me where you got this information form. Why do you think it's a scam? Throw back the questions to the person. Now, if you do not know the answer to his question, do not lie, because he will come back to you and find out. All right? Be honest. I'm sorry, Mr. Fabregas. Actually, I don't know the answer to that question. By the way, it's a very good question. All right? Can I get back to you by tomorrow with my leader, talk to my leader and get the answer? You understand? Okay? That's one way of doing it. So when you don't know the answer to the question, get the answer and get back to the person. Now, if you promise to get back with the answer tomorrow, make sure you do it. Or not, you lose credibility and posture with the person again. All right? Now, the follow-through is extremely, extremely crucial. I cannot stress enough on the follow-through. Within 48 hours, you must be in touch with the person. Now, if the person leaves town, email, phone call, something, he must hear from you to know that you are serious about this business. He must know that you are willing to follow through within 24 to 48 hours. Okay? That's building block number 6. Right, now we are moving on to building block number 7. All right? Now, building block number 7 is basically where you counsel your leader. Always counsel your leader, which is building block number 7. Now, a lot of people come into networking thinking they already know how to do it. Hey, this looks easy enough. I'll do it. Thank you very much for referring me into this program. Thank you very much. I'm going to take off on my own. Cannot. You should not, and most of the time cannot, do this business alone when you get started. You need some guidance. I spent hours with Joe Fabregas, hours with Kurt Rink, with Vijay Ishwan, with Japa, with Joseph Bismarck. All right? To be able to become the networker I am today. And the same with you. You cannot come in like a baby, you know, when he's born, he starts running. I don't know. Where I come from, they don't. All right? They crawl, they take baby steps, they fall, and eventually they start walking, and eventually they get enough confidence, they start running. The same with a networker. Now, in order to do this, to learn and grow, you have to counsel with your leaders. Right? There's a joke in networking, they say, even if you want to go to the bathroom, you counsel your leader. All right? Now, when you've built a rapport with your leader, like I have with the founding directors, even if I want to buy a home, I counsel with my leaders. I want to invest a heavy amount of money, I counsel with my leaders. Right? That's later on in leadership. But right now, it's very crucial. You counsel with your leader. Number one, for placement. Majority of mistakes people make when placing people in your organization is because they don't counsel with their leaders. Where should I do? What should I do? All right? If you're going to go and run a big meeting, counsel with your leader. All right? Can you please come with me? Should I do it? If you're going to meet with an organization, before you meet with the organization, counsel with your leader. Now, your leader may not be the direct person who referred you. He may be 2 days old and you may be 1 day old. All right? You identify with your leaders and you will know. If you're a networker, you basically know who your leaders are. You build a bridge with your leaders. You become a leech. Be a sponge. Absorb as much as you can from your leaders. All right? One of the greatest things I have learned from this industry is you can never stop learning. The day you stop learning, you start falling. Until today, I learn. And I don't think I'll ever stop learning. Every chance I get with the big leaders. When I was in the Philippines, Pastor Dave, Ferdy, Patrick, Rico, I sat down with them. All right? Now, does learning always mean this when you counsel your leaders? In a training environment, everyone in a suit? No. Most of my counseling sessions with the founding directors, Joe, Vijay, Kurt, Japa, was in shorts, coffee, donuts. Right? And I counsel with them. Where am I going wrong? What am I doing right? Where can I improve? What should I read? Which book should I read? Should I attend this training? Should I attend that training? Should I develop an international market? All right? So a lot of people who join the business today want to launch Canada tomorrow. Hello? You understand? I've heard this so many times and you will hear this. Oh, I have this sister-in-law in Canada who has this organization of housewives. We can conquer Canada tomorrow. When did you join? Yesterday evening, 6 o'clock. Have you shown a plan? No, but my sister-in-law in Canada will be... You understand? Right? So you counsel your leaders before you go global. They know whether you're prepared financially and in the networking industry before you jump into a plane and fly to Toronto to build a network. All right? So in network marketing, our industry, your leaders are also your teachers. So you always go back to them before you make some very big decisions. Now, I was just joking about going to the bathroom and counseling them. All right? Now, use your leaders, don't abuse them. Okay? All right? Don't abuse them. Don't start dragging them for every plan you show. No. You counsel them, but don't abuse them. They're there to train you and guide you, not to be your servant, not to be a slave and work for you. Oh, you're my leader, you owe this to me. You have to drive 4 hours to show this plan for me. That's unfair. You understand? Right? After a while, you should develop yourself to be able to do that. And bring in your leader for trainings, all right, for network development, okay, for counseling. Right? So one of the ideas which we implement, which you're going to implement, is basically counseling clinics. So in a week, the leader will counsel X number of his networkers. Right? So show me a tree. Okay, this is happening. Who are these people? Who are that people? When can we have a session with them? Right? So don't at any one point think that you are a business. You are not. This business is most effectively built as a team. All right? And you get back to your leadership base. Always go back to your leaders. They will guide you. And you will duplicate that process with your people down the road. Your partners and associates are going to start coming to you for guidance and counseling. And you've got to be in the position to counsel and guide them. Are you with me? Yep. All right? Now, the final building block, or the 8th basic building block, is where you teach and duplicate. Now, please focus on this word duplicate. The key to network marketing is effective duplication. All right? As much as Joe is the most effective person here, all right, on stage, deep down he wants many Joe Fabregases in Gold Quest. Vijay wants many Vijays in Gold Quest. Kurt is trying to duplicate many Kurts in Gold Quest. All right? This is not a business where you want your strengths and your skills to remain within you only. You want it to be shared, taught, and duplicated to as many people in your organization. All right? So when you run through the 8 basic building blocks, what is the last block again? Teach and duplicate. Why? Because now you're going to take these 8 basic building blocks and you're going to start teaching it to the next person. And that process is going to be duplicated down the line. All right? So never at one point should you be the only one who shows an effective presentation. I'm sorry, then you have a second job. Every 2 minutes, Pathman, can you show the plan? Pathman, can you show the plan? You know, Satya, can you show the plan? Uma, can you show the plan? That's not the way it should be. Right? After a certain time, you have duplicated yourself enough that there are hundreds of Pathman showing plans all over the world. All right? So effective duplication is the key to a successful network. Right? Now, when I say teach, doesn't mean I want you to come up here and share with 2,000 people immediately. Yes, you will. All right? But can you teach on a one-on-one? Can you take these 8 basic building blocks, which you've just listened to, and sit down over coffee with one of your associates and share these 8 building blocks with them? Straightforward. Very straightforward. You understand? All right? So the key factor of this module, this training module, is to allow you to go out there tomorrow and teach this. If you listen to the 8 basic building blocks 2 or 3 times, it's straightforward. Very easy to memorize. And you go out there and you teach it to your associates. And remember, the key to an effective network is duplication. I don't want to be the only Pathman. Vijay doesn't want to be the only Vijay. Because imagine if you had 200 Vijays in your group. Hey, coming very close to retirement. You're retired already. All right? So there's no selfishness in this business. Don't make the mistake of thinking you are the only one who needs to do this. No. My proudest moments in my experience with Gold Quest is when I saw my leaders go up on stage and even show a plan better than me. That's my proudest moments. When I saw myself being duplicated within my core group of leaders. And they are duplicating themselves within their groups. And to be honest, I'm impressed tremendously with some of the plans these people are showing. Half of them are more effective trainers than some of us. And they're going to go up and start training all over the world. So you cannot be selfish. All right? You impart all your knowledge. Don't hold anything back. All right? So teach and duplicate. That's the 8th building block. All right? When I mean teach again, teaching is one-on-one. I learn the most, like I told you earlier, one-on-ones. If you're afraid of crowds, it's more effective doing it one-on-one. And eventually, one-on-one become 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 1 to 4, 1 to 6. Eventually, you're already training in a crowd. That's how I started. All right? So let me recap the 8 basic building blocks. Number 1, crucial. Remember we put 5 stars next to this one? Is where you sit down with your partner, your associate, and you identify with his dream, his vision, his goals, and his reasons for starting this business. The why. Without the why, he has no direction. All right? And the best way to bring it out of them is first sharing yours. You open yourself up, they'll get comfortable and they open themselves up. Don't be embarrassed of this topic. A lot of people are afraid to share their dreams. All right? Just guide them along the way. And once you identify with that, remember that. That's their buttons. All right? A man with a dream is a very, very powerful networker. All right? Then you go to block number 2, building block number 2, which is commitment. So always identify with their commitment from day one. I need to know what you're going to commit so I can commit the same back to you. What's the rule of commitment? Be realistic but never conservative. So if he pushes it too low, you push it up. He says he wants to give 7 days, 24 hours, every minute of the thing. You said, relax. You need 1 day with family to recharge your batteries. All right, let's have a home barbecue during that time. Okay? Third, the list. Broken up to your list of dreams and goals which need to be written down and kept somewhere where you can see. And the list of names. 8 names or 200 names? 200. Because if I paid you 100 US for every name, you will have 2,000 names in the list. So do not prejudge. Talk to everyone. Everyone should be in your list. Should your list grow? Yes. Your list grows on a daily basis. All right? Fourth building block is contacting and inviting. Maintain your posture. Never let your guard down. Do not give too much information when you're inviting. Use words like, I can't promise you anything. But if you like what you see, fantastic, we can work together. All right? I can't show you the plan over the phone. There's too many visuals involved. Then finally you go to block number 5, basic building block number 5, which is where you actually effectively show the plan. One-on-one, home meetings, official meetings, group meetings, environment, your dressing, your tools. The plan should always be broken up to company, product, plan, positioning. Right? Okay? Then building block number 6, the follow through, which is 5-star, very crucial. All right, you show the plan, you're hitting the golf ball, now you need to follow through. Within 24 to 48 hours, handle with posture. Be proud of what you do. Walk the thin line between arrogance and confidence. Never let them mock what you do. Remember the 3 words, feel, felt, found, when you handle the objections and excuses. All right, building block number 7, counsel with your leaders. They are your key to success. They have been through the road. You just follow. They'll tell you which potholes to avoid. There's a fallen tree, go to your left. Why would you want to do it on your own and suffer? They've gone through the road. They know what you're supposed to do and not do. Just follow their guidance. But you have to seek. You have to go back to your leaders. Always keep going back to your leaders in counseling. And finally, building block number 8 is where you as a student become a teacher. And you start to teach these basic building blocks to the next person and start to duplicate yourself within your organization. Duplication is the key to an effective network. Training is the lifeline to an effective network. All right? And it doesn't mean you have to be a trainer up here to be known as a trainer. Some of the most powerful trainers do training over a cup of coffee. And these 8 basic building blocks, I believe, is the easiest training module to be duplicated by you immediately tomorrow. It's simple, it's effective, it's back to the basics. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that was the 8 basic building blocks. Thank you very much, and God bless.